The idea that a photograph is true because it has been Roland Barthes' notion of that has been no longer holds up. A photo today can be anything at all, real or not. The problem isn't just deepfakes. It's how we've normalized fakery as part of the creative process itself. Filters are applied to memories like make up before they're archived into our digital pasts. So what does authenticity even mean when every moment is curated and constructed? We no longer trust sources, only what we once called originality is now a skill of mimicry. In algorithmic culture, the original doesn't matter, only the signal does. The more convincingly something imitates what came before, the more real it becomes. This isn't just about art or media. This is how truth operates today. What we call real is often not what happened, but what looks like it did. And in that world, there's no longer room for the original, only its ghost.
Humanizing algorithms in music production involves subtle randomization of timing and velocity to mimic organic performance.
In digital music production, my dehumanization is used to mimic organic imperfections. Adding slight variations in timing and pitch that no machine would make naturally, but every human musician does. These tools don't just correct errors, they counterfeit emotion. The goal isn't accuracy. It's the illusion of life, because we expect authenticity, not from precision, but from messiness. So engineers build algorithms to be imperfect, not because they want to be bad, but because that's how we tell something. The illusion of imperfection is now its own industry. AI handwriting generators don't just replicate letter forms, they simulate pressure, hesitation, and smudges. These fakes are not mistakes, but design choices. We look for authenticity where we have been trained to see it, in the irregularities that humans make, which machines can now mimic perfectly. This is the algorithmic manufacturing of trust, not through truth or quality, but through convincingly faked signs. What we call authentic becomes a commodity. The more convincing the fake, the less we value the real. When AI can write like a poet and speak like a friend, authenticity is no longer origin, it's performance. And in that performance lies the ultimate paradox: trust built on deception.
We have a new human being, and that's Chris Potter of Memetics Corporation, a new synthesizer, the Yamaha DX100, and a new computer, the Commodore Amiga.
Once a marker of authenticity is codified, like Van Gogh's brushstroke or human voice inflection, it becomes a target for replication. This isn't just imitation, but exploitation. the system is already broken before anyone even tries to break in. Early digital audio software recognized this feedback loop, offering tools that added humanization to algorithmic beats because they knew perfection was unnatural. The moment we digitize authenticity, we hand it over as a vulnerability. Engineers in the 70s knew authenticity was a signal to be manipulated. They built systems that added grain or simulated analog hiss because we trust imperfection more than sterile perfection. This dynamic is not new, but now it's an arms race. AI trained to generate fakes pushes detection tech further, which in turn trains better fakers. What once took decades of craft can be learned by an algorithm overnight and then discarded. The line between real and fake is collapsing not into confusion, but competitions. Whoever can spoof the most convincing signal, whether it's a voice, brushstroke, or emotional reaction, wins. This isn't about deception anymore. It's about who controls the standards by which authenticity will be judged. The original no longer matters because it was never more than a first draft of a rule that now auto plays.
So it really doesn't depersonalize music, I think, but rather maybe humanizes computers, I guess I would.
The original no longer exists in algorithmic culture. But that doesn't mean authenticity is meaningless. It just means we've redefined what counts as real. Once a unique object or moment distinguished from copies, the original now lives only in the pattern of its simulation. The better the imitation, the higher the authority given to it. This is not mimicry for parody. This is mimicry for legitimacy itself. Baudrillard warned that fakes would become more real than the things they imitate. But what he didn't predict is how we'd accept them as original. Now every voice, image, and story is a variation on a theme, not in homage, but in optimization. The machine doesn't copy, it synthesizes. And because synthesis is efficient, scalable, and profitable, it outcompetes the slow and messy work of human creation. Authenticity today is not a quality, but a performance, and increasingly, it's one that humans can no longer perform alone. Machines can generate imperfections indistinguishable from human flaws. They can even spoof the emotional labor of creation. As AI becomes fluent in our language, gestures, and aesthetics, we are forced to ask if I'm just executing an algorithm, or worse. If I think I'm not, then what remains of identity, of memory, of storytelling itself?